Hey friends, hey mind wanderers. I want to talk to you today about really seeing your mental health within or in between the clouds of heavy thinking, of anxiety and fear. That we all have mental health within us, as Sid Banks very eloquently shared in his early talks when he had this incredible epiphany. Very ordinary man with a ninth grade education, and saw the illusory nature of thinking. He saw how full of shit his thinking was. And I want to just quickly share with you seeing mental health in real time in someone an old client who struggled with mental health for most of his life. And I was particularly curious when I saw how incredible and how normal and how present he was in who he is as this divine human being underneath all that thinking that we call mental illness or bipolar disorder. And I remember when I first met him, he was really cycling, he was really struggling, he was in recovery, just getting out of treatment for alcohol abuse or alcoholism. And he was drinking, self-medicating to really calm down the noise in his mind that for decades he was labeled as bipolar, labeled as manic. And it sabotaged a lot of his relationships, finances, went bankrupt a couple times. He was incarcerated because he just could not really see beyond that heavy, turbulent thinking. And it's not as black and white as that, but we overcomplicate things when we are caught up in this maze of heavy thinking that we all experience. And he was on medication, but medication's not perfect, and he was getting caught up again. And I saw him get real agitated with some of the staff, and I was working with him on occupational stuff, on life skills stuff, and I just observed him when he was really caught up and just agitated and argumentative and combative and just not having a good moment. And then an hour later, he came up to me and we sat and we talked. It was a wonderful conversation. He was calm and curious and really himself again. Within an hour period of time, he went from being manic and anxious and combative to back to his real self again. And I really got to see his true lucidity. I really got to see who he really was. And we all have glimpses of our mental health when we are feeling anxious, and then we drop out of our anxiety. And that's why with the three principles, we point to mental health as not something to strive for or not something to work on, but something is our divine default setting within us. That underneath all your thinking is calm, is well-being, is happiness, is expansiveness that gets you places, helps you see your next step in life. It's that divine wisdom, that inner GPS that navigates you to the love of your life without doing anything, if you allow it, if you sit still with it when it gets uncomfortable, even in your cubicle, even in front of a group of people doing a presentation at work. Within, I can't speak today, it's within you, and you in the nosebleed seats. Have a great week, everybody.